We are living at a pivotal moment. We are in the midst of a great transition, and each of us has the power to influence this transition through the daily choices we make and through our work together. As a community and as a nation, our choices are contributing to a dramatically changing climate. But this challenge also presents us with a tremendous opportunity. Our theme tonight is Charting a New Path. We hope to inspire you with new ideas, to celebrate our community's progress, and to explore opportunities to shift together as we make the transition to a more just, more sustainable world, which must include a secure energy future. Tonight's meeting has 3 parts, each beginning with a presentation, followed by discussion or action. After each presentation, we'll pose questions to explore at the tables, and our volunteer discussion leaders and recorders will help guide us and collect our ideas. Among our many partner organizations are 2 that play a critical role as we work together to address climate change and make the shift to a more secure energy future, the City of Corvallis and Benton County. Here tonight to speak on behalf of the city and county are Mayor Charles Maughan and County Commission Chair Pat Malone. We've asked each of them to talk briefly about their jurisdiction's commitment to climate action. So please give Charles and Pat a warm welcome.
I guess I'm first. I tried to get Pat to go, but he said no. So my name's Charles Maughan. I'm your Corvallis mayor, and I want to start off by saying my family moved here 15 years ago, and during that time we transitioned into becoming more community-minded and engaged. And one of the first organizations I heard about was the Sustainability Coalition. So I want to give a big thank you to your years of dedication to the city and the work that all of you have given to our community. I served for 4 years on the Corvallis City Council, and one of the first assignments I had, thanks to Mayor Biff Traber, thank you, was as liaison to the Sustainability Coalition. And it was one of the most rewarding assignments I've ever had in my life. So thank you, Mayor Traber. Now, as for the direction the city has taken on addressing sustainability, which is more than just energy efficiency or food waste, as we've heard, it's about housing needs and community livability. The city is constantly working to address these needs. Back when I first got on council, I started pushing our strategic operating plan, I always stumble when I say that, to have a goal of 100% renewable energy for our municipal buildings. We have made major progress on that, and I'm happy to say as long as we stay on track, our municipal buildings will be 100% electric renewable energy this year. We've also made serious progress on our housing needs. As you know, Corvallis is very severely rent burdened and has a housing deficiency. Right now, though, I'm happy to say there are over 300 units of affordable housing currently in development here in Corvallis, some of the largest we've ever seen. These items are just the beginning. We have many other items that we're trying to address, from moving our fleet to to electric vehicles, including our city buses, which we are in the progress of trying to make happen. We've already moved the police department to hybrid vehicles, so they're saving on fuel and energy costs. And that's just the beginning as well. We're also focusing on infrastructure, so we can have more community members transition away from fossil fuel vehicles into electric vehicles, but we need to provide that ability to charge. And I know firsthand, because I drive an electric vehicle, sometimes that's a challenge here in Corvallis, but we are addressing those needs. And we will continue to focus on the needs of the community and the world as a whole moving forward, so we have a sustainable future and a livable community. Thank you.
I'm Pat Malone, Benton County Commissioner, and good evening, Corvallis Sustainability Coalition. Go ahead. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about Benton County, about the actions Benton County is taking to address our climate crisis. We are implementing our 2040 initiative and climate action goals with a staff of 4. And here tonight, we have Sean McGuire sitting up front here. I think you'll see him a little later. Jen Brown likes to hide in the back. There she is. And I think Sydney Hundelt is also here tonight. These are the people whose job it is to help guide the county in our efforts. We are also implementing our 2040 climate goals using the county budget. Every department director has been instructed to develop a specific goal that addresses the climate crisis, and they will do that in the next year's budget. In 2022, we completed installing solar arrays on 3 of our facilities. We now have a total of 5 facilities with solar panels that saved us about 120 tons of carbon emissions last year, and these savings will increase in future years. Our newly renovated Calapooya building on Research Way has a solar array and is scheduled to meet LEED Gold and Fitwel Health certifications. I invite all of you to our open house at the Calapooya building on April 20th so you can see what Benton County looks like in the 21st century. The Calapooya building shows our commitment to sustainability and reducing carbon emissions. The county is also purchasing a new fleet of electric buses as we move to transition to an electric and alternative fuel fleet. With the passage of our May bond measure, we will have the opportunity to build other much-needed facilities with an eye towards meeting our long-term sustainability goals. And I would like to also let you know that Benton County is committed to developing a sustainable path forward for solid waste material management. We have been that doesn't count against my time. We have been working with community members and key stakeholders to develop a modern sustainable materials management plan based on best practices. If you'd like to learn more about our solid waste management in the county and provide feedback, Benton County will be hosting an open house on the evening of April 4th at the Calapooya building at 4500 Research Way in Corvallis. I want to thank you for all your efforts, and I look forward to coming back next year to share with you Benton County's continuing efforts to address the climate crisis. And I would like to point out that I'm comfortably under my time limit. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles and Pat. We really appreciate your leadership and your service to the community. And now it's time for our first discussion. Whether you are sitting at a table here in the Alumni Center or whether you're joining us via Zoom, you'll start by doing some quick introductions around the table. And in your virtual breakout room, please share your name and the name of one affiliation you want to mention, such as a school, an organization you belong to, or a business or a faith community you're part of. After that, we invite you to discuss the following question. How can you as an individual help the city and/or the county move forward on our community's climate action goals? Now, basically, our community's climate action goals are about reducing our greenhouse gas emissions. Whether we're talking about buildings, transportation, food, manufactured products, or any number of things that we use every day, they all require energy. And that typically means burning fossil fuels and in the process creating carbon and methane emissions. So the question is, how can community members and our local government work together to reduce those emissions? What can you personally, or through the organizations you belong to, do to help our elected officials and our hardworking city and county staff move forward on our collective goal to reduce carbon emissions. An example I would like to share of working together is coming up next Tuesday, March 14th at 12 noon. The Coalition's Transportation Action Team has partnered with the city's public works staff to create a virtual public forum. City staff will be presenting plans for a new repaving project on one of our major streets, and they're interested in feedback from people involved with active transportation. So this is one example of community members and local government working together. So now we want to hear your thoughts. How would you move the dial? What would you do to work with our elected officials and our city and county staff? We'll take about 10 minutes for this, so go ahead.